Going live. Right, yeah, it says we're live. And an error has occurred. Fantastic. Wow. Just what we want. Let me see. Is it still doing it? Oh, no, we're going. Here we go. Right here. So, but it's not coming up with anything for you. No, like, camera or anything. Yeah. Oh, that's alright. If you're on that, that's alright. It's all good. I'm actually keen for this one. I was like looking, when I downloaded it, I saw little clips of it, and I was like, it actually looked like a really good game. Yeah, I think I gotcha. I'll slide up my phone and just see what's actually happening. That way I can reply to comments and that sort of stuff as well. Okay, so you're on it.
Yeah, I think I gotcha.
Can you hear me watching it?
I'll slide up my phone and just see what's actually happening.
I feel like your audio should be coming
reply
through.
to comments and that sort of stuff as well.
Everybody, I think, get your game loaded up. We'll probably
So you're on it. Yeah, I think I gotcha. Can you
in about 5 minutes. Okay, there was no audio there. Yeah. Oh, desktop audio.
I feel like your audio should reply to comments and that sort of stuff.
Hang on, guys. Apologies for this. Just trying to fix up the audio here. Audio. Yeah, you're visible for sure. I'm just going to audio input. Yep. Okay, that's not it. That is not it. Sorry guys, just trying to figure out how to actually get this all going. Probably about 5 minutes, I'm guessing. So saying everything's active, just talk for a sec. Yeah, it's definitely not picking up anything. No, because I think it should be just through the webcam that I'm doing. Not the webcam, the house party app. But I'm just too retarded to figure out this shit. If I can do. If I just do display capture, will they get? Will I get it? Just says like there's no desktop audio at all, which is quite strange. I'm not sure what's to go there. Maybe. Honestly, don't know what to do here, and I feel so dumb because we're on stream right now. I'm on live stream, boys, and we're here, and I can't even bloody get this going. If only you knew sign language, someone said. That's so good. Quick, learn sign language. Apparently you knew sign language, someone said. That's so...
Party like online, and then I'll just watch the game through my phone.
Yeah, should be able to do that, I guess, yeah.
I'll just look it up now, man. Oh, shit. Oh, lucky you can't hear me. House party. Nah, it's only on phone.
Damn. Well, I've got House Party on the computer. But,
You do?
yeah. It's like an extension
I'm on
or
Mac,
something.
so...
It's like a Google Chrome extension. Yeah, that could be it. Oh, people saying they can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, that could be it. Oh, people saying they can hear you. Hang on, I've just figured out where I know you're actually talking. No, they can't hear you. They can't hear you. They can hear me. They can't hear you. Caption method. Well, this is frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I don't. What if I do the real tech audio? Talk for a sec? No, that didn't work. It's just the desktop audio says nothing. Maybe. It could just be this app, to be honest. Can you still hear me? Right now? Okay, I don't know what I just did there. I'm just trying to stuff around with the with it all. Default. I feel like it's the house party app, to be honest. I feel like it's just their house party app is not very good for this. Yeah, too easy. Alright, guys, I'm just going to stop the stream for half hour. I'll be back in a little bit, try and figure this out. At least it says it is, anyways. We'll find out. When you were talking...
Yeah.
When you were talking, it was going through, so...
Is it still working?
Yeah.
Alright, shit. Alright. I'll get all this out of the way. Are you streaming yet?
Yes.
Okay, you got a couple beers?
I do. I have a fair few beers.
Well, I think that good people are going to have to see me wander to my fridge to grab a couple bundies.
Oh, I think so. I think they definitely should. I think they definitely should. 100%.
I'll go claim them now, And are you streaming yet?
Yes. Yep, they can hear you perfectly, so we're all good.
Alright. Okay, guys, hello. I was on mute before. I'm just going to go grab a couple of beverages and I'll be back. This is exclusive footage here.
Guys, get ready, load it up. The video's in the description. Load it up. We'll start it in about 5 minutes probably.
Yeah, sweet.
I'll give you a countdown on when to play it.
So everyone can see me, yeah?
I should actually move in the camera, hey. I'm sitting at the ground because I'm not showing up on your camera, but I should probably check out the camera.
What?
Am I in the middle? Yes, I am. There we go.
Alright, and I'm visible, yeah?
Yep, you're visible. Sure am.
Alright, shit, what was I going to do? I was asking for a reason. I know that.
You're getting a Bundy.
I'm getting those. I've got those. You're not going to be able to see me just for a minute or so because I'm going to actually do a quick post on my story to let the fine people know we are live.
I should do it too, eh?
Yeah.
Good thinking. I like your work, Oliver.
Thank you very much.
Big fan.
Alright, so you can still hear me, just can't see me, right?
Yep, exactly.
Alright, beautiful.
So I'm going to go ahead and do it as well. Guys in the chat, go ahead and do that. A guy's actually asked, Ash Fazbear, he's actually left quite a few comments. He said, Cleary or Jerome Luai, who's better?
Cleary.
Yeah, I think Cleary easily at this point. He's won Origins, he's kind of done a fair bit in the game. Luai is literally a rookie, essentially. As good as
not terrible either.
As good as I think Luai will be, he still has accomplished really nothing at the moment.
Well, it'd be interesting to see where Luai ends up because I think Matt Burton's something special as well.
I think Luai and Cleary would be a good combo. I think they'll kind of be a good little unit together. But yeah. So essentially, guys, we're just going to be talking shit, really. I'm not going to be talking about anything particular. Yeah, just really just talking about whatever happens in the game and that. So yeah, hopefully it is a good game. Cleary or Chorus House, guys. It must be a Panthers fan for sure. Has to be a Panthers fan. Has to.
It's hard to compare him, but I'd still.
I'd still say Cleary. I mean, he's won Origin series.
Yeah.
Whether you say he's like a passenger in that side or not, like he still has done quite well. I mean, how many times did Mitchell Pearce get an opportunity and couldn't win it, and Cleary came in and done it 2 years in a row in his first 2 years?
I think you need to stop because didn't you hear Braith and Astor last year talking about how Mitchell Pearce is clearly better than Nathan Cleary? So your argument is null and void. No, I see where.
Do you ever just want to punch Braith and Astor? I wish I could do it far longer.
No, to be fair to him, at the time it was when Cleary was really out of form and Pearce was like in a purple patch. But I feel like his argument, he was trying to say that overall he thinks that Pearce was the better player, and he was trying to argue for why Pearce should have been selected for New South Wales over Cleary. And anyone could really nip that argument in the bud by saying Cleary literally won a series in his first year of Origin when Pearce couldn't after being selected for like 10 years.
Yeah,
on and off.
I feel like I feel like Mitchell Pearce is probably like a really likable person in real life. Like if you met him,
yeah, and he is a good player.
Oh, he's a fantastic player. It's just a matter, but like there's plenty of good players who didn't play Origin. Like Brent Sherwood never played Origin. That stuff, like great halfbacks and that. You know, Origin's not the be all to end all in terms of whether you're a good player or not. Obviously, it is to some people, but You know, Mitchell Pearce, if he's not an Origin level player, it doesn't mean he's not a good player. You know what I mean?
It's not even that he wasn't necessarily playing at Origin level. It just seems like when he plays Origin, and even just look at the Roosters, he just seems to not be able to live up to the expectation in big game situations. You know, when the Sydney Roosters, yes, they won the 2013 NRL Grand Final, but what about all the years after that? They won the minor premiers in 14, 15, and they also made the prelim in 14 and 15, but choked.
Also lost in 2010 in the Grand Final with Todd Carney, Dally M as his halves partner. I don't know. I personally really like Mitchell Pearce. I really do. But just a lot of the, you know, Anasta and Brett Finch and like John's boys and all that, a lot of their obsession with him, it's like they want him to be better than what he actually is. And I feel like it kind of is to a detriment to him. And I hope it doesn't happen to Nathan Cleary too.
It seems like it might eventually, but you know, that just happens with certain players. Can you guys still hear me all right? Because I've just unplugged my headphones. I've got to put my phone on charge for a bit.
I can still hear you. Guys, in the comments, I'm going to rely on you guys at the moment. It's funny, for me it says I have 0 people in the chat yet. I'm getting comments from different people, so go figure, YouTube, there you go.
Yeah, so can people hear me still? All right.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Should be right. It wasn't like a significant drop off. Yeah, they can hear you. Pete Vreto, he wants a shout out, so shout out to Pete. There you go. Kay, how's it going? Going good. Riley says they can hear. So we've got a few people in here. I think it's about time we start this bloody game, don't you?
All right. Is everyone ready though? Everyone, you've got the game up, ready to press.
Righto, guys. 1 minute. It's in the description. I'll give you 1 minute to load it up.
Yep.
And then we're going live. We're going from 0-0 at the start of this 2005 Grand Final. Tigers, Cowboys. I'll be honest, I remember I was in primary school when this happened. And I remember not paying too much attention to it, to be honest, because at that point it was kind of like I didn't have Foxtel or Austar as it was. And it was kind of like Bulldogs or nothing for me. So when the Bulldogs got, like, I don't even know if they made the 8 that year. But as soon as they were out of contention, I remember thinking, oh yeah, Eels will win this year, and then they didn't. Or I think Dragons were hot that year too, and I think they both got beat in the prelims. And at that point, I was like, oh well, I'm done with this year. It doesn't matter who wins. I didn't realize it'd go on to be quite a lot of good players at that time, because it was fairly. If you go through and have a look at the time, probably not too many big names for a grand final. A lot of youngsters,
but they were really good players. I'd argue a lot of them were underrated, or they would go on to sort of earn a name for themselves. Like Robbie Farah played at hooker, and he was pretty much a nobody.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I saw a little clip when I was sort of downloading all the footage and that. There's a moment where I think Gus Gould said, they talk about Robbie Farah like as if he was just, I don't know, as if like, you know, like when Sam Verrill scored the try in the grand final this previous year, they're like, oh, what a good young player. What a good moment for him. And you're like, fuck, like, you're like, shit, that's Robbie Farah that they're talking about, man. Like, end up being one of the sort of best hookers of our generation, at least. Anyways, I feel like we should start this game. So I'm going to give a countdown from 10, and then we're going to press play, guys, in the comments, so you can sync it up. So we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Here we go. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the audio for it, but definitely going to have a thing in the corner that shows the scoreboard and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've got my audio off just to make sure we don't.
Got the audio off? Well, if there's anything that the commentators say, I'll bring it up if I think it's worth noting.
Tonight they come together with
Alright, sweet.
Funny, it's just you forget like the HD part. I'm like watching on a big TV and that. You forget the difference as soon as it went to HD. Like it looks so bad, man. I'm watching in 720. I think is what I downloaded it in.
results impossible to predict.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's weird, it's not HD, but you know what? It sort of makes it... It's not amazing, but it makes it feel... It just makes it feel a bit different, which is good because it makes it feel like a bit of an old Grand Final.
Yep, I get ya. It definitely makes you feel like you're in 2005, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can see Maddie Singh to the left of the screen on Rugby League, in my opinion, today. I uploaded a post.
Him up against Hasem. I'm going Hasem, mate. Matty Singh, good player, but he wasn't Hasem.
Look at the accolades though, man. Like, I get if you include golfers in there, maybe you give it to Hasem then, but they both played for Australia, both played Origin, but just have a look at the difference in the amount of caps. A lot more big game experience from Matt Singh, and I think that's what got him over the line, because if I'm honest, most people were saying Matty Singh, which I was surprised about. I thought Hasem would probably get the nod.
I feel like Queenslanders will passionately say Matty Singh. Bulldogs fans will passionately say Hasem. Like,
yeah, but I felt like there was a fair bit of diversity. Like, I genuinely think there were a lot of people from New South Wales saying Matty Singh, because I've had posts like Andrew John's first day of Lockyer, and you can clearly see there's a divide between the New South Wales and Queensland.
you know what I find is quite funny about all of this sort of stuff is that I feel like Matt Singh and Hasem in this modern day both would get laughed at on the wing. And then playing. I feel 100% they would not get a look in purely just because of their physical size. I mean, I suppose Corey Thompson kind of defies what I'm saying. But
yeah, even Josh Adokar, like, I've seen...
Yeah, but Adokar's got that... He's got that speed, man. He's just got... Like...
Yeah, didn't Matty Singh have that as well?
Matt Singh was quick, but Adokar's next level, man. Adokar's the fastest one in a while. Matt Singh was like a fast winger. Even Hasem in his day was quite quick, but Adokar blow him off the field, I reckon.
Obviously, but I'm just saying, I can sort of see Matty Singh being comparable to a Josh Adokar during his day. In 2005, for example, there was a highlight that I remember, well, I don't remember, but I've seen multiple times there, Bobby Farah, of Matty Singh at Brookvale Oval against him, and he ran, Matty Singh ran 110 metres to score, and it was just an amazing effort. I think it was him and Brett Stewart. I think that's why it was big, because it was pretty much a running race between him and Brett Stewart, and just.
And Brett Stewart definitely speaks to back in the day. Yep. He's another one that I feel like people forget how good he actually was, Brett Stewart.
Yeah, another player who just came up on screen, that was actually Paul Whatuira, Grand Final winner in 2003, 2 years before with the Penrith Panthers, and with the Tigers 2 years later. Not many players win Grand Finals, I guess, within that short amount of time with two different clubs. Obviously, there was a year in between. Here we go.
It's funny, Travis Norton for Cowboys, like he was with the Bulldogs. And then, I don't know if he was captain. He might have even been... No, he wasn't. He wasn't captain. But he was with the Bulldogs, moved to Cowboys and became their captain, I believe. But,
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, they let that go. Wow.
Was that Norton with the ball now? He was locked, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was locked. But he's someone who was with the Bulldogs for a while. Never got to, never got the premiership or whatever. But the previous year, 2004, Bulldogs won without him. So it was an opportunity for him to sort of strike back. Same with Thurston. Thurston was going back to back at this point.
Yep. I just noticed something on the right-hand corner on some of the signage. The Rugby League 2 out now.
I remember.
I forgot this was the year League 2 came out.
Yeah, Steve Price on the cover. I remember. I remember on the footy show they were doing like top tries or whatever, But like Rugby League 4, Rugby League 4, Rugby League 2, I just got it such like in my head. So far, like, I know we're eventually going to see that Benji try. I think everyone knows, not the Benji try, the Pat Richards, Benji Marshall flick pass try. Everyone knows it, but like I couldn't tell you when it happens. I couldn't tell you what was the game on the line, were they already flogging them? I don't really know.
Well, as I told you, man, before this...
Gee, what a kick.
Yeah, and Matty Bowen gets out.
Question, do you reckon Scott Prince is underrated?
Yes and no, because he played Origin. He is recognised as one of the better halves of the time, even when he was at the Titans. I mean, just look at what he did at the Titans. They got a game away from the Grand Final in 2010. And he was
honestly, he was like the best. He was like the perfect signing for Titans.
Yeah, an experience, something that they need now, an experienced half that can control him around the field.
Because what, they signed him in 2006, is that right? Like, and then 07 they came in?
I think late 05 they signed him.
I remember there was a thing in one of the grand finals where they brought them all out onto the field.
Yeah.
All the players they had and that. But like, if you add in, between him and Preston Campbell, they were kind of the two perfect players. Like, you know how everyone talks about, like, if you were to like start a new club right now or whatever, who would you sign? Everyone's like, you know, Tumblr, like Cameron Smith, whatever. But it's not realistic in terms of, you know, they're off contract or they wouldn't sign for a brand new team, whatever. Scott Prince is someone who you'd probably look at and go, nah, he would never sign for a brand new team. Why would he leave the Tigers, whatever? And yet he did. They nailed the signing of Scott Prince. It's just disappointing for the Titans that they weren't able to capitalise on that early sort of success, kind of. I don't know if success is the right word to put it, but I felt like they were quite competitive the first 5 or so years.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's only recent they've dropped off.
Have you just gotten an ad too?
I haven't, because I've downloaded it.
Oh, shit. I'm 5 seconds behind.
Guys, I'm going to pause it. We'll be able to sync it up from the timestamp.
What are you at?
I'm on 3:49, guys. So if you guys have got ads, just pay attention to what's in the corner of my screen. Be able to see the timestamp. It says tackle, the scoreboard, and the time. So should be sweet. Let me know when you're cool.
So the game is at 3:49 for you?
Yep.
I don't know how, man, but I'm way in front.
That's alright.
So have you paused it?
I did pause it, yep. Where are you at now?
I'm working on it. Oh, and another ad's just come on. Sorry, man, I didn't realise. Oh, it must have been because you downloaded it and I've got it on.
Yeah, that's probably it. I didn't realise Matt Bowen, he was actually kicking it. Like, I always thought he brought in the kicking like late into his career. I didn't realise he was doing that back in 2005. I know he played a few games at 5'8" at the back end of his career, but...
Yeah. Just a little spoiler, I guess. What's going on with this ad? Won't stop. Anyway, it's gone to a completely different game.
There you go.
Accidentally clicked on. Alright, I'll get back onto it. Sorry.
If you load it up to about 5 minutes 30 or something, I'll tell you when to play.
As in the time on the game?
Yep. I'll tell you, the actual video-wise, if you load it up to about 9 minutes 30, should be around there.
Alright, well,
Matty Ball with a good little kick return.
I'm on 9 minutes 30 and 5 minutes 22 seconds.
Okay, so I'm up. I'll give you like a 5 second rundown when it's going. As long as we're like a couple seconds out, it doesn't really matter too much, I wouldn't imagine. Oh, here we go. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. Okay, you good? Matt Singh at the wing, the man we're talking about.
Yeah, I just wanted to add in, because you were saying before you're not quite sure when the play actually happens. It happens in the first half.
Yeah, true. It would happen, yes.
I forget. I'm not sure. I don't think it's too early on. I don't know if it's too late on. But all I remember, and this is a bit of a spoiler, the Cowboys actually score the first try of the game. So I know it's sometime after then. I think it's 6-all, and they score to make it 12-6, I believe.
Well, right now, just like looking at the game, you know, like grand finals, like I would say the last couple of years, you've seen like Roosters come out, and you can watch like the first 15, 20 minutes and say, yeah, you know, Roosters are probably going to win this one. And this, I feel like this is such a 50-50 contest at the moment. Both teams have had some decent field position, a few decent kicks.
Yeah, for me, just from what I've seen, the Cowboys look the better side. And the Cowboys probably would have been the favourites heading into this one too, I reckon, because they made the finals the season before, made the prelim, obviously made the finals this season as well. And I believe
did Thurston win the Dally M this year?
He did. This was his first.
Yeah, so they've essentially kind of got all the momentum, I guess, maybe?
Yeah. And I think with the Tigers, they were, I think, outside the 8.
That's a big tackle. That's a big tackle.
Yeah. And he's stunned. And man, you just look at a guy like Paul Rauhi, and he's sort of a name that you don't remember until you hear it, but you look at him and he's a big bloke. There he is coming out to the referee now. I believe that's Rauhi.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I think Shane Tronk was number 10. It's interesting to think in this grand final, that Brett Furman, I don't know what their lineup going throughout the regular season was for the Cowboys, but they went with number 16, Justin Smith, at 5'8", shifted Thurston to halfback, and put Furman, who was their number 7, onto the bench, like a last-minute thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if that was a good move or a bad move or...
Well, Furman was, as he said, I'm pretty sure he was starting all year. I don't know if he had a drop in form or something, but...
Throwing it. Here you go. Oh, there's that try you were talking... That was a really good try. That was a really, really good try.
It was a bit lucky, but the Tigers, they didn't pounce on that drop ball, did they? They thought it was going to get called forward. It didn't. It was back. And then you saw the gap that was created. Matty Bowen picked the ball
Man,
up.
just see Matty Bowen go and score that try. It makes me sad that he didn't win a premiership.
I mean, he won one in England, I'm pretty sure, with Wigan, but I do get what you mean. An NRL.
Just for the Cowboys. He was Cowboys through and through. And then as soon as he leaves, they go and score. They go and win a premiership. Was it like was it the next year after he retired?
It was a year or two after. He was playing in England at the time, I'm pretty sure. I think it was in 2013, might have been his last year. 2014, I think he might have won the Super League title with Wigan. And then 2015, the Cowboys won. But it's sort of weird. Sometimes you sort of forget that Matt Bowen didn't play in that 2015 Grand Final.
I know, it's just... Because you just think of, oh yeah, Cowboys, yeah, Thurston was playing, yeah, but Thurston, Bowen... Oh my god, Josh Hannay, blast from the past, man.
He was a good player. He was very...
I really don't understand what happened to him. He was at the Cowboys, he was playing for Queensland, he was like one of the main men. I think he was captain for Cowboys for quite a while. And then... I think he signed for the Sharks, and that was just it. I don't even know if he played. I'm not sure what the go was there.
I'll have to check it out. I might have to try and get an interview with him. Try my luck.
Try it. I feel like he signed with the with the Sharks. When the Sharks were like 2008, when they were absolutely horrendous, I feel like he signed for them and spent the year in reserve grade after he'd just been playing for Queensland and that. And then you never heard of him ever again.
Yeah, 2008, the Sharks made the Grand Final. I think you might be thinking of 2010. Could have been. I'm not sure when he actually signed for them. And I'm just stuck into the loo real quick. You give us your best commentary, man. Is that Thompson ball now? No, 11. Oh, That's a bit of milking, guys. But what do you reckon? I reckon that'd be a penalty today. I can't see any of your questions, by the way, so I'm sorry if you ask any. I'll have to ask Luke to see if you guys have been asking any once he's back. I can't see. It's with Wigan. That was a bit of a crap play from Thurston, wasn't it? A legendary player, but he sort of stopped and just took the tackle. Matty Bowen getting the kick in there. Here we go, the ball to the man, Brett Hodgson, who gets it out to Benji Marshall. Here we go. Oh, I thought that might have been the flick pass play, and I'm gonna say we've missed it, but that was a really good run by Marshall. I've got to play the ball here. Who's that running onto it? You can't see it first till they. I mean, is that Johnny Scandals? I think it might be. I think I can hear it coming. Are you back? I think he's back. Here we go.
Right there, boys. I'm back. Here we go.
I almost shot myself because Benji got the ball and made a break and sort of stepped, and I thought, oh my god.
Oh man.
And Luke's missed it, but it wasn't.
It's nice to know that at least he was making some big plays like that back in the day. Was 2004? Was that Benji's rookie year?
2003. I think this was his third year, and he was 20 this year.
So he's still very, very young. I mean, kind of obvious that he was young. I don't know where.
It's kind of cool.
Hey, you go.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's kind of cool. I was never there, obviously, but I believe Benji actually did the bench in 2003 and debuted against Penrith, and I think my dad and my brother went to that game. So
that's pretty mad.
To say Benji Marshall debut, it was at Penrith. I mean, it's nothing huge, but when you think back to it, it wouldn't have been a huge game. Well, it was the year Penrith won the comp, but it's just sort of weird that you think about that.
Yeah, well,
we've got to scrap.
You want to talk about Benji's debut? Don't want to upstage you or nothing, but I did watch Arana Tamata play for the Bulldogs live. I'm just saying, and I saw Sonny Bill's last game for the Bulldogs. Sorry, last win, I think. I don't know. Last game. I don't know. One of them.
I don't want to top that, but I was at the 2015 Grand Final.
I bet nothing even happened then. Probably a boring game, I'd imagine.
Do you know the crazy thing that I was just thinking about? The Cowboys, they ruined it in 2017, but it was exactly 10 years later after this, they got to the Grand Final, they lost. Jonathan Thurston was down, and he'd have to wait another 10 years.
You know what's funny? When the Bulldogs played in the Grand Final in 2014, and it was like 10 years after that, since they won 2004, I was like, oh man, this is like fate. They're gonna win. Like 10 years, it's got to happen, right? Like this is the 10-year anniversary. There's got to be something in it. That is a shocking kick.
I was just going to say, did you know that every year, since 1974, every year that's ended with a 4, the Bulldogs have played in the Grand Final?
I know. 2024, guys, it's looking good.
2024. Let's go.
Come on, guys. Wake me up when 2024's here. Because, actually, you know what? That means coronavirus and that will be done, so you don't have to worry about that. I'd hope, anyways. Yeah. Do you reckon the season will start again?
Yeah, it should. I'm relatively confident it'll be May 28. It seems like they've got it pretty well sorted, but I mean, personally, I wouldn't mind waiting until fans are back in the ground.
I don't mind, but I feel like it'll be a long time. A long time.
Yeah, but I'm feeling like, because they said worst case scenario, they start the season in September. It's a modified season, which I sort of don't mind.
I just feel like just because there's something different, that will make it interesting. You know what I mean? Like,
but my sort of theory is, and it'll probably still be big anyway, that if you help the season off till fans could come back, at least for that first week, maybe in the first couple of weeks, you're selling out pretty much every stadium. You're selling out
100%. How long do you reckon the I don't know how to explain it. Just because, like you said, the first couple of weeks, everyone's going to be going, oh yeah, football's back, let's go to it. How long do you reckon that will last where the crowds will be
about
big?
2 weeks, but it'll be business as usual. But I tell you what, it'll be for that initial spike, it'll be good. Like, I just want to see it, but then we'll be back down.
It's a good kick. That's a brilliant kick. Oh,
they're in. I think that's Fitzhenry.
man, I remember Fitzhenry coming off the bench. Coming off the bench for Tim Sheens.
What was I going to say? Did they call it? They didn't call video ref. They called it was a knock on, didn't they?
I think they just called knock on. I think.
Yeah. Oh crap! What was I going to say?
It's about the crowds, maybe.
Yep. So I was just thinking, even back here, I've done a couple of posts on like, sort of mid 2000s, 2010 type seasons and such, and you look at the crowds, right? Even go back to a year like 2009, 2010, a semi-final game at ANZ Stadium would draw like 60,000, and you look today and it would be like just a normal crowd, like 20,000 maybe.
It's just, I feel like it's because I feel like the teams that have been playing have been kind of not boring, but.
Well, it was like the Rabbitohs versus the Sea Eagles last season at ANZ Stadium, and it was a bigger crowd than usual, about 30,000, but in 2009 the Bulldogs and Eels broke the record. I believe it was in the prelim for the biggest crowd at ANZ Stadium, not in the grand final, and it was 74,000. And then they got near that. They got 74,000 for the Tigers versus the Dragons at ANZ in the prelim in 2010.
Well,
prelim at
yeah, but that's kind of what I'm saying though. Like the matchups have been kind of boring. So like 2009, right? That was right. So Bulldogs were wooden spooners the year before. Bulldogs have a big passionate fan base as it is. So you go from wooden spooners to possible grand final. Hazel Masri's last year. They were like tied minor premiers or whatever. Like it was a really good season. The Eels were on that hot run. So it was like a marketer's dream, I guess. Then, even in 2010, the Dragons looking to get redemption for the previous year, where they probably should have did a lot better than what they did. They got the minor premiership up against the Tigers, who were probably the form team, with Benji and all that sort of stuff. Then you compare to some of the matchups we've seen as of late, like, oh god,
I think that's a try.
They're going to give it? There you go. Oh my god.
That would 100% go to the video ref today.
Bryce Gibbs.
Bryce Gibbs, and I tell you what.
How young does he look?
Yeah, I think I saw on the fan with Andrew Voss. He said that Bryce Gibbs scored in the 2005 NRL Grand Final and was like, scored a few tries very early in his career. He scored in the 05 Grand Final.
Was that his last try?
Well, no, his last try came in 2013. His next and last try came in 2013 with the Sharks. So
what a spell.
Again for 8 years.
Hey, not bad, but I'd take a try in the grand final.
Oh, yeah.
Who's their goal kicker? Scott Briggs, maybe?
No, Hodgson.
Oh, Brett Hodgson. Right.
6'4", out to be 6'4".
Pretty decent player, Brett Hodgson.
Yeah, well, Woken Abar lately has been really giving him raps for his Origin debut. Apparently, statistically, he had the best Origin debut ever, but because in his next Origin game he got ragdolled by Gordon Tallis, that's all he's remembered for.
Oh. It's probably, it probably is something. Brett Hodgson, great player, but will always be remembered for that Gordon Tallis thing, just because of how high profile it was. Oh, what a terrible pass. Terrible pass. You think like the context of that, if you did that in round 1 or bloody round 15 or something, you'd have fans blowing up. Imagine doing that in a grand final. Doing that. Just throwing the pass to nobody. Who was number 4? Was that Bowman? Fatawira. Yeah.
For the Cowboys.
Got it on the screen here. Number 4 is Bowman. Hane's number 3.
Okay.
And Scandalis takes the pass and goes to ground. 7 metres on his own side of halfway.
8 offloads to 2. You can see the Tigers are really getting the ball around the field. Benji Marshall and Scott Kuntz, absolute masters. Of course, the Cowboys have got Jonathan Thurston, but he hasn't seemed too effective thus far. Made some good individual plays, but the Cowboys are obviously not getting the ball all around the park enough.
So far, been a pretty decent grand final so far. Like nothing super amazing, but a pretty entertaining game nonetheless.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. Thurston in this one just seems to be going through the motions a bit. Like, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm convinced Jonathan Thurston only got the Clive Churchill medal in the 2015 Grand Final because he kicked that field goal.
Yep, I can see that.
A blocker. Like, he led in a try. As in, he knocked the ball on in front of, I think it was early in the first half, knocked the ball on in front of the line, and I think it was, for some reason I'm thinking Alex Glenn picked the ball up and scored. Like, and he just did not do much. Morgan probably had a better game. I don't know, Thurston, he's obviously a great player, I'm not denying that, but in that one game, the 2015 Grand Final, other than that field goal, I think Jake Granville or a Lachlan Coote probably should have got the medal. I think even Gavin Cooper. I'm just.
Well, honestly, I remember thinking Anthony Milford was the best player on the field. I think he was so good. Bowen! Oh!
Could you imagine, right, if he didn't get tackled and ran and scored that try? 100% that would have gone down in history like that flick pass. Maybe not on the same level, but it would have been replayed for years. And it would have changed the outcome of the game, so maybe we wouldn't have got a flick pass if Matty Bowen had gone and scored.
It's funny to look back and think of like the what if situations. Like what if Matt Bowen gets through there? What if they don't throw that pass in their own in-goal, concede the easiest try in grand final history? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that happen. Like, I wonder if the players, I'm sure they do, like, I'm sure Bowman sits there and thinks about that to this day. Like, wow, shouldn't have passed that. If I didn't do that, we had the momentum, we would have went on with it, etc., etc.
You know, there's every chance that he would have got that pass away and they would have been tackled and goal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you just don't know. You don't know. Oh, we've got a bit of a roly-poly going on here. Thurston showing and going. Oh,
Thurston.
That was awful.
Jensen. They all wear the headgear. Always they miss Matt. Oh, Bowen. Getting out, Bowen. Ty Williams. Did he?
He's got that, has he?
Surely he's just. Has he bounced it? It kind of looked like a bounce, but.
Is that Matt Chechen the touch?
I think it is.
I believe that's Chechen touchdown. It looks like the back of his head, and I think I saw him. Yeah, it is.
There has to be an obstruction there.
That might have been what they called it, because I can't remember the Cowboys actually taking the lead again in this game, but that looked like a try.
Well, I'm saying, I'm calling it. There's an obstruction just before that.
Just here.
I don't know who it was. Someone runs through and takes out a player, and Thurston kind of runs through the gap. And if I don't know if they're going to give this one, but if this was right now, I reckon they give this a no try.
Oh, it might have dropped.
It's just here, the Ranger guy.
Yeah.
Yep, Dean Hallertau gets pushed.
Yeah, what was I going to say? I just remembered too, you know that try I was talking about, Matty C?
Yep.
It was actually Ty Williams who scored it. It was Ty Williams, I just remembered, so apologies for that.
Ty Williams, another one. Fantastic player.
I believe he was top try scorer in 05 as well, if I'm correct.
Okay, yeah, Southern. Well, he does run
So
Southern,
yeah.
Look, if that's 2020 NRL, that's 100% a no try.
Oh, that. Just that, the push on the lock. If he hadn't put his hands out, like they might have been okay.
Because if they go through and don't make contact, it's fine. But once they make contact and inhibit a defensive player, all of a sudden, you can go against...
Ash Fazbear has said, Cleary on Maloney. Who are we thinking? I'm going Maloney.
It's hard to... Maloney, but...
Depends the context of it. Are we talking a career or are we talking right now?
I still think, well, at the end of 2019, I still saw, I don't know. The thing is with Cleary and Maloney, it looked like Maloney was heaps better than Cleary, but that was only because Cleary was taking out of the game pretty much in attack. It was Maloney who was controlling the attack and who was in full control, so Cleary had pretty much nothing to do.
Yep.
Nathan Cleary has to have full control of his in attack to play well, and he has to have freedom to run the ball. Arguably, on his day, the best ball-running player in competition. Just look back at round 25 against the Newcastle Knights, where he scored 4 or 5 tries. But yeah, I think Nathan Cleary is a guy who does need full control of his side, and he's confident when he is in control, when he's got that responsibility in attack. Here we go.
The guy asked a question, Ash Faz, but he said, based off 2019, have we got Maloney or Cleary?
You have to say Maloney, don't you? But Cleary didn't really get the opportunity.
I was going to say, was Maloney injured a fair bit in 2019?
Nah. In 2019, when he played that Origin game and Cleary was injured, he came back for the Panthers game after.
Oh, true, yes, Cleary got injured.
Yeah, well, Cleary had a man-of-the-match performance on his return game and a knock-on from Scotty Prince. Yeah, he had a man-of-the-match performance in that game, and Maloney didn't play because he'd given full control. And if you look back to that game against the Knights in round 25, James Maloney it was his last game in the NRL. His side wasn't going to make the finals. He just took a step back, did nothing, and let Nathan Cleary control the show. So whenever James Maloney has not had a big impact, there's Matty Johns.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever...
Sorry, I was going to say, here's a question. So, look, I think it's kind of, everybody kind of can recognise that Nathan Cleary played a lot better without Maloney than he did with Maloney to an extent. How do we feel like he goes in? Look, he's probably going to get picked for New South Wales. I feel like if they were to go with a team right now, I feel like the logical selection would be Luke Keary and Nathan Cleary.
Yeah.
Do we feel like that is a good thing for Nathan Cleary that James Maloney isn't there? Because it seems like that in Origin they always love to go with those halves combos from club land, and is that to a detriment to Nathan Cleary? We see him takes it to back foot for club land, let alone in Origin. If he takes the front foot, is that a good thing for Nathan Cleary?
Yeah, when he takes the front foot, I think he could do it eventually for New South Wales. Even right now, if Luke Keary came in, he could control the show, and maybe Nathan Cleary can take a step back. A lot of people call Nathan Cleary a passenger in Origin, and I don't believe that. Here's why. Origin is very defensive-based. If you just look at past results for the most part, you know it's very defensive-based. I'd argue not many halves, not many halfbacks in particular, can defend well. Nathan Cleary can defend well. If you look back at the Origin games he played this year and in 2018, sure, in attack he might not have been perfect, but you watch the defence, he was just his ability to defend. And, you know, Queensland didn't really have that, I'd argue, in their halves. New South Wales did in Nathan Cleary. So that's sort of how I see it, at least for a couple of years. I think Nathan Cleary plays that role well. Luke Keary can control the game in attack. He's proven that. Nathan Cleary can control the game in attack. And Luke Keary can play the role playing half and the half in control. So either way, either one of them can take control as long as Nathan Cleary is there to defend.
Even, I was saying Luke Keary's the logical thing. I suppose Mitchell Pearce is another one. They love to throw him in Origin. They love to find a spot for him. I feel like Brad Fittler loves Mitchell Pearce. Is he a chance, do you reckon?
I don't think so. I think we've gotten to the point where he's had his fairy tale victory, and I think we've got to the point where... Because we've got to understand too, when he got picked for that game 3, it was because Cleary was injured. I believe Adam Reynolds was injured too. Personally, in that game 3, and I know at the time I got laughed at for it, but I think people sort of started to come around and realise, at that time, in Game 3, when Mitchell Pearce was about to get picked, if you look at least statistically, and I'd say he was on par just because his team was losing individually, Chad Townsend playing as good as Mitchell Pearce, not even joking. Chad Townsend was having a really good season, proving he could control a football side. Would that have translated to Origin? I'm not sure, but at least until at that point, we knew Mitchell Pearce could not hack it at Origin, could not control a football side at Origin. With Chad Townsend, we didn't know. So personally, obviously, we got it done in the end with Mitchell Pearce. He played an alright game. I'd say the key factors in Game 3 of Origin 2019 were Damien Cook and James Vesco. Personally, even James Maloney didn't have that great of a game in the halves.
I was there. I feel like James Maloney is the sort of guy. I don't know how to put this. He doesn't particularly play well in Origin, but he does like one or two good things good, and everyone goes, "Oh my god, fantastic player!" And you're like, "But like, what about the kicks out in the full that he did and all that sort of stuff?" And then you kind of forget about that stuff because at the end of the day, the results kind of speak for himself.
Well, I think Game 2 he had a good game. I'll give him Game 2, but Game 3, him and Pearce, while obviously if they were terrible, I think Queensland win. They were fine. I just really think that connection between Damien Cook and James Vesco got it done in the end for New South Wales. I think they really stepped up in that game.
I will say though, I was reading, I think it was Cameron Murray talk about it, and I think he said Mitchell Pearce was the one who called the play at the back end of the game that ended up winning, won the game. That play at the end where they sent out wide, got to Ferguson. I'm pretty sure he said, yeah, Mitchell Pearce is screaming for the ball to give it to him. So. Well, I'll say it's a good thing to hear that Mitchell Pearce, when the game was on the line, was screaming for the ball. Because I feel like a lot of the narrative of Mitchell Pearce is that, when the game was on the line, he didn't want the ball, didn't know what to do with it. I hate to say it. I feel like Robbie Farah did nothing to help New South Wales for a fair few years.
I think for a couple of years, although he was the hooker when we won in 2014, and I'd argue we were very lucky to win that series, I still feel weird watching it back. I've got it on DVD. It was just, I've got all 3 games on DVD. It was just sort of a weird series. We did get a bit lucky. But yeah, I know he won it in 2014 for a couple of years, probably including 2014. I think Michael Ennis was probably the choice for hooker, and then eventually when he was selected for the New South Wales hooker role, I think he lost the series, so he was straight back out again. But yeah, for a while it was Ennis or Farah. I'm not necessarily saying we won those series if Michael Ennis was playing, but I feel like for a couple of years he was the better option, but Farah got chosen.
Here's something that Cooper Jobson has said. He said, how about Jack White in 258 and Katoni Staggs in at the centre position to replace where Jack Whiten was?
No, don't fix what isn't broke. Jack Whiten, from what we've seen in Origin, when Jack Whiten came off the bench in Game 1 and played in the halves, it just didn't work. You shouldn't really have a half coming on to replace another half in Origin, or someone coming in to play the halves role. It doesn't work. He then shifted to the centres for the last 2 games, and it worked. Tom Trbojevic playing in the centres worked.
What do we think? Try?
I think it was a forward pass.
Surely he dropped the ball there. Surely.
Yeah, I don't want to be the spoiler guy or anything, but this shouldn't get awarded because, as I said, I'm pretty sure the flick pass is the next try.
I'll be back in a sec. I'm off. I'm going to the loo again. Hang on, let me see. There's this. His feet are up. That's like the perfect time for the feet to go up. I have a feeling in 2020 they might give that. If that was a case of, we've given it a try and field, I feel like they give that. But I feel like back then that's a no try.
Yeah, just quickly before you go, are there any other questions I can answer while you're off?
Okay, so let me just check real quick. Standing up, got my ass to the camera. I think there was. Who's better, Josh or Brett Morris?
Cool. Crap, because this is really hard. It's hard for me to decide. I honestly couldn't decide because they did play different positions. I know they can play the same position as each other, but usually I wouldn't say they played when they were playing for different clubs, they haven't really played in the same position.
Yeah, Travis Norton's hit it there.
I don't know.
Is there downward pressure on that football?
For some reason, I've always been mesmerised a bit more by Brett, I'd say, but Josh has had that. He sort of had that defensive acumen a bit more because he largely plays in the centres. You know, Brett's more of a fullback, a winger. So they bring different elements. I'd say while they're both, you know, try-scoring machines, I'd say Brett's probably a bit more of a try-scoring machine, and we see Josh with a bit more of that defensive acumen. So yeah, Josh is probably a bit better at defending, and while they're both great at attacking, I'd say Brett's probably a bit better in attack. For me. Okay, and this should be a no try. Have they awarded it yet? I don't think I was looking. It'll be a no try. Look at that PSP up there. No try.
I'm back for it. Saw the no try.
Also, guys, I'm just going to ask you out of curiosity, how many people here from Rugby League In that saw my story and have come across from my page? Is there anyone that usually, because I can't see anyone that usually comments on my post live, anyone that I know, anyone that usually live, let us know in the comments, and I'll get Luke to read them out so I can say today. I know Cooper's one of them from NRL TPO.
I'll just read some comments. Pete Bretto, he said, who do we think is the best NRL player at the moment?
Tom Trbojevic, at the moment, based off the first 2 rounds.
I actually, based on the first 2 rounds, I'll agree with you. But I feel like, a lot of players have a good 2-3 weeks in the season and they drop off. I feel like overall, still got to be. Actually, you know, I feel like overall, Jason Tamalalo is the best player.
Yeah, I do see that. Well, I'll just answer it with Michael Gordon was so dominant throughout his whole career. His aura and his presence is still blessing us today. So I'd say that he is still blessing us today because that's his jersey behind me right there. So there you go.
Dominant in the social media showdown too.
Oh, get out of it. I tried a couple of times. I made some absolutely terrible plays just to get him the ball. I think he made a break at one point. I got excited, but
when I was going through and editing, when I was editing those videos, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I was like doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, I sucked so bad this game.
I think I'm a bit worse than you, based off those first 2 games. But you'll have to tune in next Friday for the 3rd. To see how it turns out, and also there's a bit of a twist at the end, and it's not at the end of the game, it's at the end of the video, so check that one
Definitely
out.
Is. When you started saying that, I was like, what are you on about? Then I remembered, I know what you're on about now.
Yeah, keep it under wraps, make them watch the video.
They definitely need to watch the video.
It's about to be it's the 3rd game.
Oh, Thurston spills it!
Thurston has filled it. He's not had the best game, I don't think, in this one. What do you guys reckon? Has Thurston been playing well? I don't think so.
Did he play Origin 2005 or was it 2006?
I think 06, 07. At most, he would have come off the bench this year. Oh, 06, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sounds about right. Okay.
Any more questions, comments?
Pete, also, same guy, wants to know, what are our thoughts on Katoni Staggs?
Good player. We haven't seen, he hasn't really lit the world on fire too consistently. Still promising. And yeah, still all the potential in the world. Nothing crazy to this point. What would you say?
I feel like, do you feel that the centre position in general, there's not going to be any real superstar centres? Like, they're just going to be pretty decent players.
Yeah, I get what you
mean.
Because
they can do some really good things, but they're always going to be. I don't know. I feel like any decent centre, they all want to play like fullback, or they want to play 5'8" or something like that. So there's never ever going to be any superstar superstar centres.
Well, just look at Origin last year. By game 3, the 2 New South Wales centres, one was Tom Trbojevic, a fullback, one was Jack White, and a fullback / a half. You look at Queensland.
And White was one, and Michael Morgan was the other. Is it?
well, Will Chambers, who is a centre, but also Michael Morgan, earlier in the series as well, played in the centres and is a half. So, yeah.
I feel like, well, if we were going to go centres this year, who do we think? Do we think probably like New South Wales stay the same, probably Whiten and
I think
Trbojevic?
probably stay the same. Even if look, let's just say Trbojevic is outperforming James Tedesco, I still think Tedesco fullback.
I feel like here's a try. Oh my god, here's a try. I can tell straight away. Was it 34th minute?
Nearly 35th. And watch this. Look.
Oh, what a palm!
And you know what? Good on Pat Richards, because it wasn't in the clear just because of that flick pass. He still had some work to do.
That is something that I feel like it gets overlooked. The fact that he still had a fair bit of work to do there. That palm, that's one of the best palms I've seen.
Yeah, and you know what? The flick pass was good, but if you didn't make that palm, you wouldn't have scored the try. So good on Pat Richards there. And I think, you know what? When it is talked about, it's always the Benji Marshall flick pass to Pat Richards. I think Pat Richards still does get...
He should get recognition for it.
I think he deserves a bit more recognition because that palm... Yeah, it's definitely... It wasn't all clear after that flick pass. It certainly helped and he was away, but good on Paddy Richards there. I'm sorry, we're talking over Pat Richards, but you know what? I think Benji gets enough recognition for that, so we'll give it to Paddy Richards here, right?
Okay, so we just seen one of the best grand final tries. Then we'll get some more comments. Cooper Cronk or Benji Marshall? Ash Faz Bear has asked. I feel like that's a pretty easy one.
Cooper Cronk. Benji's great, and he is so important to the game. He changed the way people played the game and looked at the game from that and the way he played. He reinvented the game and then reinvented himself later on in his career.
Although, actually, here's a question for you, right?
Yep.
If we swap Benji Marshall and Cooper Cronk, and we put Benji Marshall in the Storm team in Cooper Cronk's duration, and we could put Cooper Cronk in Benji Marshall's club duration, do we feel like that would change much?
I think so. I think Melbourne would still be up there, but I think the Tigers would be a lot better as well.
See, I feel like Storm would be not a lot better. I feel like they would smash it. I feel like they would absolutely kill it. Like, Storm have got such a good system that Benji could step in there. Like, we've seen in these days, Storm can win games and be very competitive with a fullback playing a halfback. You add in... Oh, that guy knocked out. That guy would be an HIA right now.
Definitely.
Jensen just got
stomped in the head.
Jensen just got murdered on camera.
Have you got the 14? Who was it?
It's Jensen. His name's Jensen. Rod Jensen, I think it was.
Yep.
Just some heavy contact with Rod trying to make the
Oh,
tackle.
there we go.
But I sometimes wonder, Cooper Cronk, fantastic player, but all the talk is of, oh yeah, he went to the Roosters and he won premiership, so look, he's won at 2 clubs and that sort of stuff. But I think if you, even before you started the season, you looked at that Roosters team, you went, they're easily the best team on paper. They signed James Tedesco and him in one off-season. They had a fantastic squad. It's not like they had a team of bums that he turned them into some god squad. Like, they had some really quality players.
I think a lot of people forget that halfway through the 2018 season, the Roosters weren't in the top 8. They were struggling at the start of the season.
They 100%, they were struggling. Yes, they were struggling. But I feel like it was a lot of people looking at them saying they're underperforming. I don't think anyone looked at them and went, yep, they're in the position they should be. I think a lot of people said, yep, they should be doing a lot better than what they should. And then it finally all came together at the back end of the year.
I think Cooper added to it, certainly, and I think he had an impact. Maybe they wouldn't have won the premiership if he was there, but they'd certainly at least make the prelim like they had the year before. One thing I think, though, is that a lot of people are saying now just because Cooper Cronk retired that means the Roosters won't win the three-peat. I would argue that by the time we got to the 2019 NRL Grand Final, while Cooper Cronk was a very crucial piece to the Sydney Roosters lineup, they proved that they could win without him.
The 2018 Grand Final, I thought 100% they would no chance. Straight up, no chance. And then
I thought they'd win.
I thought Cooper Cronk's out. They're up against the Melbourne Storm. Melbourne Storm 100% got to annihilate them. I thought they were going to annihilate them 100%. I'm not sure if I did any videos on it, but if I did, it would have been me talking about them annihilating them. And they didn't. Luke Keary came out. I remember this like so vivid. I don't know why I remember this. I remember Luke Keary being like pissed off that they were asking about Cooper Cronk. I remember him being like, yeah, nah, it doesn't matter whether he plays or not. I'm in there, sort of thing. And I remember thinking, oh shit, that's kind of like a good sign for Luke Keary. And then obviously he came out and did what he did. I thought Luke Keary he played incredible that game. Joey Marnie was good. Latrell was good. Just the whole team in general was good. But I feel like the attitude that they had, that was just showed by Luke Keary. I don't know. I'm assuming that other players probably like that as well. But Luke Keary was the one that I just remember talking about. And it's impressive because he was the halves partner to Cooper Cronk. And you think, yes, he's won a premiership, but, you know, at the Rabbitohs he had Adam Reynolds sort of take charge. And then at the Roosters he said Cooper Cronk. And then he goes there, Cooper Cronk's busted, and he just goes, I don't give a shit. I remember him, essentially, I'm just paraphrasing, that's essentially what he was saying. I don't give a shit whether Cooper Cronk plays or not, we're going to win the grand final. And that's exactly what they did. And it's just like, damn, that's like the perfect attitude. I feel like half the battle for NRL is attitude and sort of mentality and that sort of stuff. And Luke Keary just showed to me that he was super important to that Roosters side, but we kind of didn't realise it up until that grand final, which sounds stupid, but
yeah. Well, here's what I'd say about Luke Keary at the Roosters. You said it. He took control in the 2018 Grand Final. Proved that he's not only a role-playing half, but he can take control of the football side. Right? I would argue he will not be as confident and as good as doing that if he hadn't been mentored by Cooper Cronk throughout the year. But just Cooper Cronk being there probably gave him that confidence. Not necessarily on Grand Final day. I know he was there on Grand Final day, but I'm just saying throughout the season.
So, I feel like that's pretty fair. I feel like it's definitely added to his confidence. However, at the same time, we got to remember this wasn't Luke Keary wasn't a rookie at this point. He was the guy who had played with. He'd won a premiership at the Rabbitohs already. Was kind of one of their main men, and then kind of got stuffed around at the Rabbitohs with all the. Was it Russell Crowe? Shit happened with him.
Yeah, so Sam Burgess actually talked about it the other night. He was there when it happened, so we confirmed that there was, I think it was a drunken altercation an argument between Luke Keary and Russell Crowe. He didn't say what was actually said, but he said he was there, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah.
I feel like it come out what was said, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been confirmed what was said. But yeah, as I said, Sam Burgess didn't say what he said, he just said it was there and he saw that it did happen. Yeah. We got any other comments coming through?
Let's have a look. I'm doing a lot of burping, a lot of hiccuping.
Oh, I need to get this down a bit quicker. Well,
I've got two different beers going at one time. I've got Miller's Genuine Draft and I've got Cut and Dry. Right, yeah. So, Scotty JT says, when do we think Origin should be played? I'm assuming he means this year. If it was to be played.
Towards the end of the year. If we have a shortened season, I'd say we need to play at least 5 rounds before Origin.
Do you think we just hold out for as long as possible and hope that the crowds will be back? I feel like Origin without crowds, it's just, I kind of don't want to see it. I watched WrestleMania without no crowds, and it was bloody weird. It just felt like another random game. Random wrestling event.
Look at that crowd.
Well, look at the shit they had to put on. I mean, I'm not saying it was shit, but we talked about it. Someone sent that up. Those bloody cinematic matches that they did in the friggin' thing, and Undertaker buried AJ Styles and shit. Like, that's what they've come to.
That was bloody fantastic. But the problem is, NRL can't do that. It's not even going to be able to do a cinematic
I'd love to
Origin game.
Something like, just have the game, but just have something around it. I don't know, CGI, so it's played on like an alien planet or something, and just pipe that around it. I don't know.
I don't think we can deny it'd be entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Back to that WrestleMania point, the two matches I watched were those two crazy ones. You know the ones I'm talking about straight away.
Yep, the Boneyard match, Undertaker, AJ Styles, and the Firefly Funhouse, John Cena and Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend or whatever he's called.
Which one was better? I like the John Cena one better.
I liked the Boneyard match because I was at work and I was watching it and I was bored. But I will say, Bray Wyatt, I had a bet on him. I put a bet on ages ago that he would win, so I won a significant amount on Bray Wyatt winning. And it was so obvious, like, within 2 seconds that, oh yeah, if there's going to be a winner, I wasn't confident there was actually going to be a winner. And then I was like, well, what does that do for the bet? But, yeah, it was pretty obvious John Cena definitely wasn't winning.
Surely it's going to be illegal to bet on wrestling, like...
Nah, you can definitely bet on it. It's, you go into entertainment category, you'll be there. You can bet on it.
It's almost like it should be though, because...
It sounds dumb, but you can.
It's predetermined, so no wonder Vince McMahon's a fucking... Well, can I swear? Sorry.
Nah, go for it, man.
Yeah, no wonder Vince McMahon's a bloody billionaire, because whenever he books the matches, he knows he's going to win, so he hops straight onto bloody sports bet.
Hey, I was thinking, if I was a wrestler, mate, I know what I'll be doing. I'll be going, mate, I'm paying $1.05. Let me take the pinfall.
Let me take the pinfall and I'll get on this.
Mate, I'm putting my whole contract on it.
John Cena's defending the WWE title at WrestleMania. Looks easy, he's a favourite. Yeah, geez, look, I think I should probably lose this one. Yeah, I think the other guy should have the belt for a bit.
I saw that they had to release a whole bunch of people from their contracts.
I've heard of the coronavirus.
Yeah. It's just... It's just...
WWE sort of... Aren't they all like paid as contractors and they got like no healthcare whatsoever or anything? Yeah,
something along the lines of that. I don't know the ins and outs, but yeah, it's something like that. But that's just another thing where, you know, like the NRL players talking about, like, oh, you know, I want to be paid my full, like Joey Leilua, I want to be paid my full contract, blah blah. And it's like, bro, like that's just not how the world works at the moment, man. This is like a global pandemic. People losing their jobs everywhere. Even bloody wrestlers who are on WrestleMania and stuff are losing their jobs. They look forward. They're losing their jobs, and then you got guys like Joe Leilua, like, I want my $800,000, whatever it is a year, and it's like, bro, come on, man, this isn't a normal situation.
Let's just say, for example, Joey Leilua had to get released by the Tigers, right? Because of coronavirus, whatever, they couldn't pay him, so he left. They released him. Another team could probably want him straight away. He'd go in and he'd start being paid. You look at these wrestlers right now, as an example, obviously, just as an example, this is representing, most workplaces. They get released. They can't go anywhere else right now because I highly doubt there are many other wrestling companies currently active and looking to sign people.
Well, when you say that the NRL teams would go for him, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. If Joey Leilua got released right now, could any other team afford to sign him? Because they're already releasing all their staff. A lot of the players. A lot of the teams. They're releasing all of their management and all that sort of stuff. Bulldogs aren't even playing their coach.
True. Well, I'll tell you what, at least the talent pool isn't dampened. I haven't heard anything yet. I've been looking specifically for him. I wonder how Daniel Vito is. Obviously, he's in WWE now, pursuing a wrestling career after playing in the NRL. I think he's still pretty fit. I don't know if he's been released or not. I've actually specifically looked up his
I believe he's... Oh, there you go. Is that little Frankie? Anthony Little Frankie. Titans legend.
Titans legend.
When I think of Little Frankie, I think Titans. I forget that he even played for Tigers. I was even more shocked today when I was going through and I was doing the little graphic that's on the screen right now that has all the lineups and that. And I saw Little Frankie and it said prop. I was like, what the hell? Was he ever a prop for the Titans? I feel like he was the second row lock.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Luke Bailey at prop, and then I know Nate Miles eventually came.
I know Michael Hodgson was there for a bit.
Yeah, I think it was mainly for the Titans. Yeah. Back to the Daniel Vito point. I met him at the. I was about.
Did you meet him at the Nines? I feel like you sent me a photo of it.
Yeah, well, obviously that night we met up with you and a couple of your mates, but yeah, I think it was the next day, and we weren't hungover, but we were pretty tired because the night before we did have a few drinks together. And
we had a late night. I remember me and you going off, walking around the Parramatta. I think it's shut down now. I forget what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it's been bulldozed. The Oaks or something.
The Royal Oak.
Yeah, I'm certain it's been bulldozed. I remember my mate Liam. Shout out to Liam, who's there. We pop in the Guinean. I'm pretty sure he sent me a thing of it being bulldozed. So there you go.
I knew it was. Yeah, well, for people who are a bit confused right now, on the Nines weekend last year, I know a lot
World Cup Nines.
Yeah, World Cup Nines. I know a lot of my followers knew that Clarkie and I went, but we actually met up with Luke and a couple of his friends the first night at a place called the Royal Oak, a little pub, and it's sort of, for the weekend, it was sort of, I know you guys were there the first night, but we went back again the second night. It was sort of Clarkie and our spot.
I should have went there. I should have went.
Well, yeah, we weren't there for long. It was just a few.
We also went to Para Leagues too, I think. Was it? Yeah. And I'll be 2 seconds.
No worries. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys. I went off on a tangent. When we went to the World Cup Nines, obviously, we met up with Luke and that night, had a few drinks, and we got an Uber back to the stadium the next day, and we were a bit tired or whatever, and we sort of looked and there was a guy standing there. It's like, oh, it's Daniel Vito. Wonder why he's here. And we went over and met him, shook his hand, had a chat to him about NXT. He said it was all really good, that he thought he was going to start being on TV, actually wrestling pretty soon. So I hope that he's not been released. Because I've not really heard that he's made his debut. I'm not sure. I don't really watch too much, I must admit. But I'm not sure if he's made his debut or anything, so I hope he's safe. But if not, a possible return to the NRL. For Daniel Vito, he still looks very fit. Maybe a stint in the Super League. Could very much see that happening. Excuse me. But yeah, another interesting thing. Now, he never said this to us, but Carbs, shout out to him, Michael Carboni from Chasing Kangaroos. He was working for IRL, doing interviews and stuff. I think it was him. I think Daniel Vito said to someone said to, are you back, Luke? I'll just wait for Luke.
We're back, boys.
Yeah, so what I was just saying is, obviously said about how we met Daniel Vito, but afterwards, I think it was, Carbs from Chasing Kangaroos.
Yeah, is he American?
No, that's Nate from RLA, from Rugby League in America. Carbs just reports on the international, but what I was saying, he was working for IRL, the international Rugby League.
Chip Chase?
Yeah. He was working for the International Rugby League as a reporter, an official reporter that day, and I think it was him. That might have been, don't quote me, but afterwards he said, oh yeah, I met Daniel Vito, I had a chat to him too, and he was like, yeah, I asked him why he was here, like watching, because he was with the Samoan side. He was like in the sheds with them, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm here to recruit people." And at the time, I remember we were just thinking, which NRL player could make it in WWE?
I wonder who would, because I mean, people think, look, realistically, all of these, like a majority of these NRL players, physically, you think could handle the NRL, right? Like they're all pretty fit, good bodies, very WWE bodies. The problem is they have a personality.
Yeah,
I don't know how many of them. Yeah, like how many of them would be comfortable in front of a camera?
Yeah.
Be able to cop shit from the crowd. I don't know.
Did you hear the rumour earlier this year? I think it was like during the Nines that WWE offered Isabel Kelly a contract.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I reported about it on my page. I wonder. And
see, that's something that I feel like could have possibly happened. But it's more of like, I feel like for their developmental stuff, it's like minimum money.
But you know what?
But a huge risk of. But like, I'm not sure what their women's contract was, but it's like you can stay in Australia, get paid a decent amount, do all their sponsorships with Adidas or whatever, or they can go to America, sort of lose all of their traction in Australia, but maybe they'll become like a big star in America, or maybe they won't. Who knows?
Well, when I did post that rumor about Isabel Kelly, there were a few people who are like die-hard WWE fans / NRL fans, I think, that were commenting on it and saying there's actually a lot of a lot of the women wrestlers are Australian now.
There is. Well, it's funny. I feel like I don't consider myself like a big WWE person, yet I could tell you exactly what's going on. So, at WrestleMania this past year, Rhea Ripley, Australian, she was in the NXT Championship against Ric Flair's daughter. She was on it. Buddy Murphy is in Seth Rollins' group, and he's like one of the main parts of wrestling at the moment, in terms of the WWE. So that's another one. Then you add in the two iconic girls, were like women's tag team champions not that long ago. There's quite a few Australians in it. Compared to, I remember back when I was a kid, we were thinking, oh, there's no Australians in it. Oh no, not even any Australians. So there is quite a few at the moment.
That's good to hear. So what you're telling me is basically I need to give up on trying to be a journalist thing and go wrestle for WWE. I think that's a good idea.
No, we become wrestling journalists. And our next watch along is WWE Raw watch along. I suppose it's still live every week. One of the only things. There you go. Just in terms of this game, I feel like the quality of this game has really dropped in the last 10-15 minutes. Now that Tigers have got a pretty comfortable lead, like 18-16 in a grand final, you feel like, yep, that's probably good enough to win a grand final, but you never know. But just in terms of, it probably is.
Yeah. Sorry, man, I dropped out for a second.
No, you're right.
My girlfriend sent a few messages in a row, so I sort of thought, okay.
They are, bro. You gotta keep it in the good books, man. I'm the same.
We got any more comments? What's everyone talking
Comments.
about? WWE chat. Rugby League panel for the past half an hour.
Let me check the chat.
Fourth tackle goal. 18-6 the score in the grand final of 05. Through it comes from Fulton. Goes to Hyington and down he goes. That's Thurston making the tackle. Giving away a lot of kilos, but he made the tackle. Hodgson's got a pass.
Because then they can only see the chat. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Can't really see it. Oh, that's a terrible kick. Terrible kick. There's another. Liam Martin or Kurt Catewell. I'm assuming a Panthers fan.
first or second receiver. He needs to get his hands on the football.
Liam Martin for potential and for projection, but Kurt Capewell, 18, Queensland, on the brink of playing Origin.
They're not even like the same. I feel like they're quite different players though. Like Liam Martin's like a lock. Kurt Capewell's like a second rower / centre / utility sort of guy.
I think whoever is asking these questions is asking two different Penrith players. It's hard to compare when they're not playing the same position.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Oh, that's a nice try. Is there an obstruction or something? Have I missed this?
I don't think so.
Bloody hell, that seemed easy. I think very easy.
Say the game's up from here because there are a few more tries. Right. Any other comments?
Let me check. Okay. What do we think of Luke Brooks and Moses Mbai's injury? I don't really know much about Mbai's injury, to be honest, but Luke Brooks.
I think Mbai's fit now. Like, I think he'll be fit by the time we're back. I'm not too sure about Luke Brooks. I think he'll be nearly ready to go as well. So,
in terms of Luke Brooks, do we feel like I sometimes watch him and I feel like I'm like, oh yeah, he's a really elite halfback, and then other times I watch him and I think, nah, plotter, absolute plotter. I don't know what to think about him.
Individually, he's really good, but because his team doesn't play as well, I think it hinders how he looks, because he's one of the best halves in the competition statistically. He's very underrated, I believe, any way you look at it. I think if a Luke Brooks is playing in a side like the Roosters, etc., I think we have a whole different outlook on him.
Here's the thing: if we put Luke Brooks in the Bulldogs side right now, what do we reckon of him?
Similar to the Tigers, to be honest. I think the Bulldogs would be better, but I don't think they're playing.
So we're saying he's not like an elite player. He's kind of like a, how to put it, like a second. He's like a good second fiddle.
No, because he does have the ability to create, etc. But
oh god, that nearly ended bad.
Like, put it this way, okay? You replace either Benji or Scott Prince in this game, and I think the Tigers could probably still get it done. The game obviously would look a lot different, but I think, okay, the Tigers
so
will probably
do you reckon? So you honestly reckon Luke Brooks in this side right now, Tigers still win this game?
I never necessarily said they would. I'd say there's still a good chance. Like, as in,
because I feel like they don't win it. I feel like Scott Prince's experience and that sort of stuff, I feel like it actually plays a big part in them doing it.
Depends. Maybe not Scott. Because spoiler, Scott Prince wins the Clive Churchill medal. So, maybe Benji. I don't know. I just say I think they could still win it with a Luke Brooks in the side with the team that they had. I think it was. This reminds me of something. I think it was Clarkey a few days ago who uploaded if the Tigers hadn't released all the players they have, here's how their side would look. And there's players like Tedesco, Moses, etc. And the side still looks really good. But you know what? I had a look at it and I thought back to this 05 Grand Final side. I'm not convinced that team would beat the 05 Grand Final side. I think the 05 Grand Final side is either on par or better.
There's just something about that 05 side. Like, I feel like they're the perfect example of the team being better than individuals. That, like, obviously they have some very good individuals. Benji Marshall can do some very good things. Robbie Farah can do some really good things. Bro Hodgson can do some good things. But in terms of their side, it's not like a side that's stacked with, international superstars or like guys like immortals or anything like that. When you look at a Storm team, you go, Cameron Smith, Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk, some of the best ever. To like in their position, number one, like Cameron Smith, possibly the best ever. Cooper Cronk, maybe the best ever halfback. Billy Slater, best ever fullback, etc. there's no one you really look at the Tiger side. I mean, obviously there's Benji, who went on to be that, but I mean, look at him right now. He is not far. He's not that far past being a rookie at this stage. I mean, in the try that they scored, the Pat Richards try, he was on the wing. He was doing a kick return. So that kind of says what they had about Benji. It was kind of sort of just managing him at this point and then sort of getting a few brilliant moments out of him in the game. But he wasn't... I wouldn't say he was like a superstar at this point. He was very well on his way to it. Same goes for like Robbie Farah. The guys who went onto it, but just at this point weren't superstars. But I'll be honest, I kind of forgot what I was talking about.
You get a little tipsy there.
Yeah, I think so. Kind of tells me how old this game is when the PSP's been an advertisement. I feel like I was talking about something in terms of star power. I was talking about star power up against just team continuity. Just the fact that the Tiger side, I feel like they were sort of such a good side. Everything sort of aligned for them at this point. The best way to put this is if you put them, say if you made them on that video game, right? Say probably Rugby League 2 is what the game was now. You look at them individually, the overall ratings, you'd say, oh yeah, nah, they're alright. They wouldn't be number one, you would think.
Well, I guess Rugby League 2, because it says out now on that signage, I'd say it probably would have come out like in 2005. And as I say, I'm pretty sure the Tigers were either not in the 8 or they certainly weren't 4th in mid-2005. I think they went on a bit of a run, so it would be interesting to see their ratings on that game because honestly, I think a lot of them would be average. Like,
well, that's what I mean. I mean, their side, you have a look at it, back, you think 2005 standards, theirs wouldn't be, even the Cowboys to an extent, would not be a superstar team.
I think the Cowboys are better.
You think of all of the sides that are around that time, the Bulldogs side, the Roosters side of the last few years. I mean, Broncos are always strong. Penrith had just been off their strong years as well. And the fact that this is the grand final, quite a young sort of grand final. Looking at it now in 2020, we know what these guys ended up doing in their career. But back then, I'm sure if you're looking at it, you probably would have went, this is a pretty weak grand final. But this Thurston guy, he probably won't do much in his career.
And you know what? The Eagles and Dragons finished first and second on the ladder, and I'm pretty sure in the few years before that, at least a couple of years before that, they were nowhere near.
Yep.
So those are the top teams, the two grand finalists, and the teams who finished the regular season first and second for a few years before that were. I think I'd say the Eagles and the Dragons probably would have made a couple of finals. I know the Cowboys did.
I remember. So the Bulldogs and Roosters were the grand final before. I feel like the Roosters... Oh, there's a try. There you go. That just wrapped up the grand final. It's Henry in the corner. I was just in the process of saying... I feel like the Bulldogs side, I know for sure, they were like destroyed by injuries in 2005. Then in 2006, they came through, had a big comeback again. The Broncos sort of beat them in the preliminary final. Should have probably made the grand final. Probably should have won the grand final, realistically. If you go take a look, I know you're doing articles and that. Go take a look at that 2006 season. The Bulldogs probably were the favourites, should have won. And yet, they had a huge lead against the Broncos in the preliminary final and conceded it all. And it turned out William Mason was in the sheds doing shit in the sheds that really sparked the Broncos. They've talked about it in the past. So, yeah, 2006 was probably the Bulldogs' year once again, and they didn't do it. But
I would have maybe they'd make the grand final, but They were up against the Melbourne Storm, who, yes, hadn't won their first grand final in their big run yet, but they were the minor premiers. Cronk, Smith, Slater. Yes, maybe they wouldn't have been viewed as good as they were now, but they were still as talented. So maybe.
See, I remember this grand final. This is the Broncos. Like, Storm lost that grand final. I remember watching that. I remember watching a replay of the grand final. Storm were all over them for the first 15-20 minutes and couldn't score. They just couldn't score against Broncos. And then, obviously, Broncos kind of went on with it. I think Justin Hodges was playing fullback at that point. See, Brett Hodgson, what a conversion. That's such a crucial conversion. At that point...
You know what? And after he missed a penalty goal earlier in the
He did miss a penalty goal too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, a penalty too. But he got that one.
Oh, they've taken Pat Richards off. I think that's what they said.
I'm not sure who would have come on for him. That's the question. I think this was his last game before he went over to the Super League too.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then he came back for a couple of years as well.
Came back with his kickoffs.
Yeah. And I think, did Pat Richards play in the Nines early this year, or he came back for a Nines? Yeah, Richards is off.
That is mentioned in the comments. In the commentary, Stella said Pat Richards off to Wigan next year. So, yes, it was that year. It's funny looking at how young some of these players look. Like you see a guy like Bryce Gibbs on the screen right now, and you realise how young he looks. And I always think of Bryce Gibbs, seeing him on the footy show talking about how he tried to give himself a vasectomy. Put his ball sack on the bloody counter and try to put a nail through it. And here's him scoring a try in the grand final. That's a good kick.
It is.
That's a very good kick. Comments, here we go. Let's have a look. Just a lot of people talking about when they were here for. Darcy Betts commented, my uncle played for Redcliffe Dolphins. Chris Farrell retired in 2012 because of a shoulder charge for a broken jaw, and he was the captain at the time. That's unfortunate. Johnny said, is Kieran Foran able to come back this season? I'd say yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what. I know he had shoulder surgery or something.
Yeah, so originally at the end of last year we were projecting an entire 12 months, so we would have missed the whole season, but he was way ahead of his rehab, and just before the season started, that expectation went up to about June, July. So he should be back, but I don't think he'll re-sign with the Bulldogs.
It's a hard one. Do you think if, will Kieran Foran find another club?
I don't think so, but I think he could in the Super League easily.
Do you feel like... I kind of feel like he'll be one of those guys who prices himself out of other teams. Obviously, look, if he was going to play for a minimum contract, he could find himself another club easily. Kieran Foran when he plays, even when he played last year for the Bulldogs, when he was playing, very, very good. It's just a matter of he can't keep himself on the field. But if you look at him and say, look, is he $1 million player? No, he's not. Is he a $100,000 player? Probably. If the Titans took a punt on Kieran Foran, $100,000 a year, would you be happy with that?
I don't think we need Kieran Foran though. That's the thing. And look, he won't sign. He'll be at least 500,000 wherever he goes. Let's be honest. And I tell you what. Honestly, after this season, I don't think he really signs with the Bulldogs, and I can't see any other NRL team signing him. He might choose to retire because of his injuries, but if he wants to play on, I'm telling you right now, it'll be in the Super League. The Super League would take him. You know what? There's nothing against the Super League. He could do very well there, and it's, although I wouldn't say it's the same level as the NRL, it's still a reputable league. I think he could do a couple of seasons there, go to St Helens, win a couple of Super League titles, go to Wigan, win a couple of Super League titles. I've always wanted to see like a really good player go to like a bloody, I don't know, Huddersfield or Wakefield and just win it. Because you always see the Super League, since the Super League came in '96, guess how many teams have won it?
I'm assuming, look, it's always St Helens, Wigan, Leeds. Is it 3? Maybe with Warrington or something as well.
No, not Warrington, Bradford. So,
Bradford, true. When Sam Burgess didn't play for him. But, yeah.
And John
But St Helens, Wigan and Leeds, they're always the like go-to in terms of at least one of those 3 is going to be winning it. So you said Bradford, they probably won 1 year or something. Look at Scotty Briscoe. He's dropped. Wait, did he drop the ball or did they touch it?
Yeah, he dropped it, I think. Oh, they're saying something. I'm just on that.
Saying he touched it. Bloody hell! That would have been a nice try. That one.
Yeah.
Scotty Prince, palm off Furman, throws the dummies, cuts back inside, goes past Southern, has Brett Hodgson in the middle there. I feel like Hodgson just drops that. That's shocking. Oh,
yeah.
You'd hate that. If I was a Tigers fan, I'd be spewing. I remember in 2004 Grand Final, I was actually crying at halftime when Roosters are winning. So I can just imagine Tigers fans. Like, Grand Final is so stressful. Like, I know as a Titans fan, you haven't really experienced it. But it's so bloody stressful. As much as you want to enjoy it, so hard to enjoy it.
Yeah. I always pick a team heading into the Grand Final, and I try and get one piece of memorabilia for that team. Like, for example, I've got the Raiders polo shirt in my cupboard now. For all the finals I've been to, I've tried to get a piece of memorabilia and wear that to the game. So I was a Raiders supporter last year, and they lost. I used to go for the underdogs. For example, I didn't have to buy one, but my dad used to play up in North Queensland in the 80s. So he knows a lot of like Cowboys fans and stuff. So he managed to get an old Cowboys jersey from one of his mates who came down. He met up with a couple of mates who were coming down for the game and got me this huge baggy jersey. It was like down to my knees, this Cowboys jersey from like '95, and I wore it during the Grand Final.
Bloody hell! You would have looked like an OG at that point. Thurston smash there. Dean Hallertau, what a player! I'll be honest, I love Dean Hallertau at the Bulldogs. I really like Dean Hallertau at the Bulldogs. Fantastic player. I feel like another one who's an underrated player. Like, he's played for New Zealand, he's played for, won a premiership, played for international games. He's someone you don't really think about as being a good player, but I remember him being fantastic for the Bulldogs. I feel like injuries really cruelled him.
Yeah, true. He was versatile too. Hooker, lock, second row.
Centre, played a bit of centre too. It was.
I was just thinking back to the bit of the Super League chat that we had. I was just thinking, right now, who would you say is the perfect NRL player for the Super League right now? And I'm talking a good player who would go over there and be a star. So we're talking like Blake Austin, Jackson Hastings, Aiden Caesar, I believe.
So not like a superstar player, a guy who's like a good NRL player who'd be a great Super League player.
Go over to the Super League, like I think right now Aiden Caesar, I think he's leading man of steel. I think Huddersfield are near the top.
I feel like a guy like Will Hopewadi would go over there and destroy their league.
I'm just trying to think.
I need to go duck to the toilet real quick. Beers hit me, mate. Beers hit me real hard.
I'll tell you what, guys. Leave in the comments below, and I'll get Luke to read them out once it's back. Which NRL player do you think would be perfect for the Super League right now? So who was an NRL player who was very good, a decent player, but if they went to the Super League, they would be an absolute superstar? So obviously, like a Jackson Hastings who's been very young and had a lot of potential at Manly, went over to Salford, took him to a grand final. Aiden Caesar, as I said right now, very good for Canberra, has gone over to the Super League and I believe is currently leading the Man of Steel tally. So that's the Super League's equivalent to the Dalian.
Time is now one of their greater enemies.
Excuse me, we're just packing a scrum.
7 minutes to go.
A lot of Tigers fans there.
Razzle dazzle hot potato. Come on, let's go. And we are back live at the Olympic Stadium, the Telstra Stadium in Sydney.
Also, I should just probably thank everyone who has who was staying like the whole game. Alright, I think Luke's back.
Bloody hell, I'm back.
Yeah. So just as you left, I just asked the comments who they thought would be an NRL player who would be perfect for the Super League. Have we got many responses yet? Anyone? Oh,
Sorry.
Scotty Prince going for
Scotty Prince, is he kick? Oh, I thought about to say he kicked it, and I was going to say, I thought the scoreline. I don't remember there being a 1-pointer. Let me just check the chat here. Michael Cheekham,
Okay,
Josh
I think
Reynolds.
still- Oh, Reynolds. I think could definitely. That's a great shout, Josh Reynolds.
I just feel like Josh Reynolds, like Super League, for them to destroy the league, there needs to be someone who's not going to get injured all the time. And I feel like Josh Reynolds, it's not an ability thing; it's the fact that he just gets injured all the time, and that would still be a factor in the Super League. Who's the player?
I'm just thinking, you think towards halves, don't you? But
Well, yeah, who would be a half that would benefit from going to the Super League, do you think?
I'll tell you, someone who will make it in the NRL with confidence, but I think Ash Taylor would absolutely dominate the Super League just because of his assist ability. Even when he had not the best year in 2019, he still got 6 assists in 10 games, right?
See, yeah, you know what? I think that's a good shout, Ash Taylor.
Ash Taylor.
A guy who has ability, just doesn't have the confidence.
Yeah, I think Tyrone Roberts. You know how he went to the Titans to Warrington, back to the Titans? I believe that season he was at Warrington. I think he won the Man of Steel. Like I think he actually did win the Super League Player of the Year. So
I mean, look this up. I feel like he did. He could have been in contention.
Or he was close to it. Oh, that might have been the year Barber won it, actually.
Well, Ben Barber was someone. As soon as he signed there, I was like, he's going to dominate it. I remember someone asked me, what is he going to be like? And I went, he'll be the best player. And then he turned out to be that. But then I remember Frank Pritchard also signed there for the Super League. And I went, he'll be the best forward in the Super League. And I don't think that was the case.
Was this?
I said back in the day, I remember I had some fans from who were like Hull fans and that, and Frank Pritchard signed for him. And I remember saying if Frank Pritchard is motivated and plays like he did for the Bulldogs, he'll be the best forward in the Super League. But turns out it wasn't really the case.
It's sort of crap that the Super League's become a bit more restrictive with their salary cap rules, because I remember before, like even the mid-2000s, a lot of players were going to the Super League because they could make more money, and it was a more high-profile league. Like I know he wasn't there for long, but Andrew Johns, I know it was later in his career, but it was
he played like half a season or something, hey?
Yeah, and I think he played an Origin game whilst he was at Warrington. It was similar to what Alfie Lanning did. So I'd sort of like to see the leagues become a bit more equal, and I'd like to see, because a lot of people, because in very recent years the NRL teams have been playing a bit better in the World Club Challenge, a lot of people forget right now, whilst NRL, I think in the past 20 years, 11 times the NRL team has won, but still on 9 times the Super League team won.
Yep.
And people the argument, it's because their season's already started, etc., and it's in England. Okay, maybe I'll give you the England one, but they literally play one round, and then it's the World Club Challenge, 1 or 2 rounds, and the NRL teams are still playing trials. Like, it's not that big of a difference.
I feel like location plays a bigger impact than the actual
See, you say that,
season
but guess
started.
what? You know, the last time a Super League team beat an NRL team in the World Cup Challenge was Wigan, who beat Cronulla 22-6, I believe. I don't know why. I've recently done a post on it on the World Cup Challenge.
Was that in England though?
Well, that's what I'm about to say. I believe that was in Sydney for some reason.
I can look it up. Well, let's have a look at this 2005 one. How did the Tigers go to the World Cup Challenge?
Well, I know Bradford won the Super League in 2005 because I'm a Bradford fan. That's how I know they were that fourth team that won. So it would have been in the 06 World Cup.
I know Leeds beat Bulldogs. Okay, Bradford beat the Tigers 30-10. Let's look at the teams. Okay, in terms of their side, that's a nice pass. That is a really nice pass.
Yeah,
very, very nice. Okay, so in terms of players that we know, that we've heard of, Michael Withers was the fullback for Bradford. I've heard of him.
From Para?
Says he played for Balmain for a couple of years.
Okay.
Oh, I think I got a link with this maybe. I don't know. Marcus Byer was a winger for them. Ben Harris, he played for the Bulldogs in 2004 Grand Final. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, Henry! Oh, mate. That's just won the game for the Tigers. He needed to kick that goal. Henry missed that goal. That's game over. Such a good pass from Thurston, but just Thurston showing his class there. But Ben Harris plays Shantae Hape. I've heard of him. I've heard of Stuart Fielden. Ian Henderson's another one I've heard of. Brad Myers, I think he played for Titans, did he?
Yeah, he ended up coming. So he started out at Brisbane. I think he played for Australia at the end of his first season. Like, I think he had a really good first season.
I remember he was ringer. I remember that much. Represent.
Yeah.
I've played Joe Bunganar was another one. Nigel Bunganar's brother.
Yeah.
Stanley Jean was the Papua New Guinea legend. Brett Ferries, I feel like I've heard of him. Brett Ferries. I feel like I used him myself at Career Mode Rugby League Live too. In terms of the West Tigers side, it's definitely not the side that they had. I mean, Daniel Fitzhenry played 5'8" for him.
Oh, okay. Was Benji playing?
Benji didn't play. That's probably when Benji was having all those shots. Remember Benji at the start of his career had all those shoulder surgeries? He was constantly doing his shoulder. He was constantly doing his shoulder. I remember thinking... Sonny Bill was another one who was constantly doing their shoulder. I remember thinking Sonny Bill, Benji were all going to have their careers ruined from dislocating their shoulder and shit. But Benji was someone who was always injured at the start of his career.
Yeah. Oh.
Through the middle! Poor Fadawira! Oh! He had a player with him! I suppose he just had to take a tackle, really.
Have you watched the 2003 Grand Final?
No, I haven't.
Similar situation. Penrith won the game. It was 18-6.
Oh, there you go! Todd Payton!
Yeah, Paul Fadawira had the ball. He made a break. He dummied the ball about 5 times to Luke Lewis. It was a 2-on-1.
Is this winger Luke Lewis?
Winger was Luke Lewis. Yeah, dummy about like 10 times literally. It was 18-6. Penrith had won it. It was similar. This was very similar. And he decided to throw it. And when he threw it to Lewis, he threw it over his head and it went out. Penrith won. All he had to do was pass it a bit earlier or dummy it and go on the inside, and Penrith would have won 24-6.
All he has is He had flashbacks right there.
Yeah, he took the tackle. Oh, he ended up passing it, but yeah, it was just very similar when they'd already won the game, made the break.
I love how all the Cowboys players are like crying on the crowd, and the referee on the ground. The referee's like, "Let's finish it off, boys. Come on, let's go." It's like, come on.
Kicked it, and they got it too.
Easy win. Tigers never in doubt. Oh God! Get the censors out. Get the censors out.
The famous post-match interview.
Oh, they let it slip. They let it go. NRL, you beauties. They let it go.
What did Pat Richards say? I know.
He goes, oh, fucking something. Chris Heinington goes for it too, or someone like that.
Chris Heinington, genuinely, like, for the rest of them, they sort of, or something, they sort of hold it back. Chris Heinington's just like, F this, F that. That's what I remember Heinington.
Got little Benji. Little Benji.
Look at Matty John's tie. It's an orange
Tigers.
tie.
Yeah, I saw that half time. I remember thinking, oh, Tigers. In terms of the Tigers side for that World Club Series, like their side in terms of their side for this grand final, like LaFranchi played prop for them. He's played second row in that World Club Challenge. Thurston crying his eyes out. Ryan O'Hara definitely didn't play. Jamal Elise's on the wing. Shannon McDonald's on the wing too. So they've got two new wingers because we know Pat Richards left and Fitzhenry moved to 5'8". So they definitely have a weaker side.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I mean, Liam Fulton's on the bench. Bronson Harrison, quite youngsters at the time, I think. Heinington was the second rower. But, yeah, just the stream is just, the video just restarted. Started Shed Noel singing, I believe. But, yeah, so I think we better wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's go to the presentation now.
Have you got any final thing to say? Actually, do it on the presentation right now, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
We may as well stay. How long is there to go? There's another 9 minutes. We may as well stay.
Well, just on that World Club Challenge thing, if you fast forward to this year, for the World Club Challenge, the Roosters just beat St. Helens and they were right in it. The Roosters had three changes from the 19 Grand Final. Two of those was Cooper Cronk and Latrell Mitchell because they left. And, you know, they had a full strength side for what they could. And Boyd Cordner was rested. Boyd Cordner was the only player rested because he was injured. And St. Helens nearly beat them. But I think St. Helens, I think we'll find out. I know Luke Thompson signed for the Bulldogs and he's been...
I'm so excited for him. I remember when James Graham signed for the Bulldogs, it was kind of similar talks as to what Luke Thompson was. I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, a lot of people are comparing him to Graham, but the thing is with me, I look at that St. Helens side and I've watched their first couple of games this year, watched them a bit last year. They were so dominant, right? You look at, and the thing is, they don't have huge name players like, they've got Lachlan Coote who's decent, Kevin Nagama. Their best players are actually their English players, so I think what we'll find is a few of their players will come over to the NRL and do really well, I think.
Well, I think we've seen, in terms of Super League players moving to the NRL, we've seen year after year. Well, Tigers, perfect example, Gareth Ellis. We've seen forwards can match it in the NRL. Forwards maybe even better than the NRL. It's a controversial thing, but look, at least we'll say they're comparable to the NRL, at least. So they're elite players in their Super League, become elite players in the NRL in terms of forwards. Yeah. John Bateman, Sam Burgess, James Graham, in recent years, and Gareth Ellis, a few of those sort of guys, Adrian Morley. A lot of forwards have translated well. Josh Hodgson is another one. It's the backs that struggle a lot in transition. I'm really interested to see how George Williams goes.
Yeah, he's so far. But again, he's up against the Warriors and the Titans.
Yeah, I was going to say he looks really good, but then his competition is probably, look, let's be honest, Super League standard.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You say Super League standard, right? I'd say, for the most part, most of the Super League teams are probably on par with the Titans or something. But I'd probably say the top Super League sides are decent. Like, for example, I'd say St. Helens is arguably one of, if not the best Super League side we've seen in years. I know a lot of people say, the team that wins the Super League every year would probably win the wooden spoon in the NRL. I think that's utter crap.
I don't think they win a wooden spoon. I feel like there'd be a side who would be 8th night.
Maybe. Well, it depends in certain years. Like, I'd say this St. Helens side, and they were that dominant, and the English players are that good that I think I'm confident enough to say if you put that St. Helens side in the NRL right now, they would at least finish 8th. I think they would at least make the top 8. I'd say 5th to 8th. I'd say 6th to 8th. That St. Helens side, because I think what we'll find is a few more of them will start coming to the NRL playing well. Because it's not just Luke Thompson. There's Alex Walmsley.
I was going to say, I heard the Walmsley guy's pretty good.
Yeah, Theo Fage, who is French, he is a really good game controller. So yeah, as I said, Johnny Lomax, Theo.
I've heard of Lomax. He's a halfback, yeah.
He started off at fullback. I think he's a fullback and a half, so he's quite versatile.
Actually, I just want to point out, quite funny, I wrote in St. Helens expecting the rugby league team to come up. Turns out Tasmania has a town called St. Helens, so there you go.
Yeah.
St. Helens are Liverpool.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, buddy, so am I. Yeah, I didn't realise till the start of this year, Anfield is down the road from St. Helens Stadium.
Hell yeah.
They're like next to each other. So
look, this is probably disgusting as a Liverpool fan, but I have a soft spot for Southend because I used them in Rugby League Live 2 when they were the Red Devils, and they changed their name and got a big cash upgrade. But
yeah, well,
I have a soft spot for them.
Yeah, it was crazy because you know how they play the Grand Final at Old Trafford every year?
Yep.
Probably the first time in a few years, because Salford, I don't know when was the last time they made the Grand Final before this, but they were the home team. Like, although they don't play there every week, they didn't need to travel, so they would have had the home advantage. They probably would have had most of the supporters there, probably more supporters for a Super League Grand Final than we've probably seen for a while, I'd argue. Because
well, I've actually got the 2020 squad for the 2020 St. Helens team. Lachlan Coote, I know him obviously. Tommy Mackinson, contender for the Golden Boot.
No, he won the Golden Boot.
Well, did he win it? Oh God. Well, that's pretty funny.
When he did, I think a lot of people forget the Golden Boot now. When Thurston won it, and that it was who was the best overall. The Golden Boot is now awarded to the best player purely in the international scene.
Which is quite controversial considering you could have England playing like France or something and be like, wow, he's the best player. Hard to determine. Kevin Aguama there as well. I feel like I've heard of Percival, but I don't really know. Johnny Lomax I've heard of. Theo Fags, I feel like I've heard of him, but I don't know for sure. I was going to say, was he French? Did he play for Catalans at my age?
I think a lot of the French.
Oh no, he played for Salford.
Oh, there you go. Well, here's the thing right now. France would be a lot better internationally, but they've had a similar situation to Lebanon, except not as bad. So I think a lot of I know Fage is one. A lot of the best French players aren't playing for France right now. So hopefully that's fixed up before 2021 World Cup, because France, they've never won it. They were the runners-up in the first ever World Cup in the 50s. Like, they used to be on par with like Australia and England. So the thing, I'd love to see like a Theo Fage come over to the NRL and play really well.
They're a team that definitely can do better. I just want to say, look, guys, I feel like we're going to wrap up this video. They're doing the celebrations here. Jordan Kahu, great in the Super League. I actually feel like that's actually a good shout. Jordan Kahu.
Jordan Kahu, anyone else?
No, that's pretty much it. Michael Cheekham. Guy asking Stephen Crichton or Caleb Aikens. I'm assuming not in terms of Super League, just in terms of who he thinks better. Hard to say. Really hard to say.
I need some more of both. To be honest, they're both.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't know too much about Aikens and Crichton. We've seen him for a cup of coffee on the field, and while he's been good, how he goes for the whole game remains to be seen. Here we go. The Titans celebrating. Tigers, I mean.
Something random. See that little girl that he's holding there?
Yep.
I was just looking down. I thought, oh, that's a cute little kid. And now I think that person probably like 2 years younger than me, probably like just finishing high school or whatever.
I know. I know. It's so crazy. You think.
I think you're like, oh, that's a cute baby.
Makes me feel so old. I'm not even old yet. I feel so old.
Yeah.
Crazy. Right, Ollie. I feel like we should wrap this video up. Do you wanna give us your social medias? I can't put it on the screen or anything, but
that's all right. So you can find me on Facebook or YouTube at Rugby League In My Opinion, or you can head to my Instagram or Twitter, which is at RL In My Opinion.
There we go. So go and give Oliver a follow on social media. If you're from Oliver's Facebook page and you're coming to my channel, go ahead, give me a subscription and all that sort of stuff. Make sure you leave a like on the video, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Just give it our thoughts, kind of talking about nothing in particular, sort of the game, sort of commentating on the game / commentating on whatever comes to our mind. And hopefully you did enjoy it. Apparently the NRL page is actually streaming the Cowboys Broncos 2015 Grand Final, so a fair few people went on to that. But hey, nonetheless, hopefully he's had a good time. If you're watching it after the fact, hopefully you enjoy it, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you for my next video, my next stream, Sundays. Maybe that can be my stream day. So there you go, guys. Thank you to Oliver for coming on to this stream. Very much appreciated. And we'll have to get him on for another one. Makes the streams a lot more entertaining having Oliver to bounce off. So yeah, definitely appreciate him being on. So yeah, thank you, Oliver.
No worries.
Hopefully you had a few bundies there. Hope you had a good time. Right, we'll see you for the next stream, the next video. Right, bye. Bye, guys.